He is standing up there saying insane, vile shit about Muslim people, about Khamzat, about his family, about people he's associated with, about some people who have, you know, checkered backgrounds, to be kind, about his mom. He's saying it with his chest, like he's saying it from here, and he's standing up. What Sean was saying at that press conference was crossing the line. What Khamzat did was dirty. You can't kick a guy that you're about to fight in the balls before. Anticipation, all-time high, building up. Holy, you win that fight and tell the world that was all for show? That was all for promotion? That is the biggest bunch of bullshit that I've ever heard. That is fraud. That is cowardly. You cannot do what he did and say what he did in the build-up to that fight and then tell us seconds after the fight is over, I was just trying to sell the fight. You can't do that. You cannot walk that back. You called his mother a whore. You called his religion awful things. That doesn't go away, I'm sorry. And all that tells me is, you're not who you say you are. You think Conor and Khabib are ever doing that? Ever.
So Ariel just got the call from the Big BB talking about you can't show the cattle how easy it is to make peace. God forbid a Christian and a Muslim man make peace. Because where was this energy when Dricus du Plessis had their beef? There was a lot of bad blood between them talking about race and colonizing land. But when they made up after their fight, no issues there. Or even worse, the beef between Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis, where Dricus was like, what, one of the first people to come after Sean's dad for what he did to him when he was a kid? And then they actually came to blows before their fight. Ariel had no issues then, but now all of a sudden there's a problem?
And these two guys went back and forth and took this sport and their fight into the gutter. And then afterwards, we're doing the kumbaya thing, putting the belt. No. And then you tell me afterwards, you share the cage with someone, 25 minutes. Excuse me, that wasn't your debut. You know what that feeling is like. You know what that phenomenon is like, sharing the cage with another human being. And yet you still spoke about him that way. If you know what happens when you share the cage with someone for 25 minutes, you know that you're going to feel some sort of way about them in the aftermath.
Kinship.
Yes.
Sorts,
Don't tell me that, something came on you and afterwards you respected this man. No, you don't respect this man because you said all that stuff. Either you're lying about everything you said, but you took us to a very dark, deep, disgusting place. Fine. That's how you feel. And then you tell us in the immediate aftermath, I didn't mean any of that. I apologize, guys. When Conor McGregor won the belt at Madison Square Garden, he apologized to nobody. And this dude is apologizing for all of that 48 hours later. You don't get to say that about someone's religion and parents and mom and then apologize. I felt that was so weak. I felt that was so disappointing. I have nothing against Sean. I like Sean. In fact, I told his team long before all this, I think Sean and I have some things in common.
And that's where the problem lies. They had something in common, and after the fight between Sean and Khamzat, they no longer have that one thing in common. Sean and Khamzat went to war with each other, and as men, they show respect, and Sean apologizes after the fight. That doesn't mean that he regrets what he says. It's just now, there's no reason to keep on fighting each other. The issue has been resolved. But no, there's always, one person or one group that just won't have it.
That was BS. Respect to Khamzat. He tested me, but F that guy. And if you want to get that belt back, beat 5 MFers and I'll see you in 2 years.
I think that's probably
the right answer. And by the way, you didn't make weight and I still stood here and beat your ass. What? That would have been incredible. You would have been a legend. And now you're telling me I'm sorry and the world doesn't like me and now I liked it. And it's like, come on, man, you're a walking contradiction.
It's just like...
No one wants to feel like they were hoodwinked. No one wants to feel like they were conned.
Rematch against Chimaev and try to build it
back.
The fight was so good, though.
Yeah, but we're going to do this all over again? If you don't believe it, don't say it, and don't cross the line and talk about religion and family and all this other stuff. You can't do that. And then tell us in the immediate aftermath, seconds later in the cage, man, that was just to sell the fight. No. And on Khamzat's part too, you put the belt around him and all this stuff. Like, you wanted to kill this guy. You kicked him in the balls. Like, I thought that was weak on both their parts. And I know what someone's going to say out there. You've never done it. You've never walked for 25 minutes with someone through hell and been through it. Guess what? We've seen enough fighters hate each other before and hate each other afterwards. I'm not saying don't tip your cap. Thanks for the war. I'll see you down the road. But that was nonsense. You took us down a very, very dark path. Stay there. You freaking took this sport into the gutter. Everyone's counting their money and everyone's happy about it. Who were you selling the fight for? You got the fight. What benefit did you benefit from? What benefit came as a result of saying all that vitriolic, venomous stuff?
Yes.
If he would have said, I got 1.5 million pay-per-views because I called his mom a whore. Great. You didn't get anything.
Yeah, stay there. Stay in Iran. I mean, stay in the beef that you guys are currently having. And also, that's not true because Khamzat said that he got the biggest paycheck of his life because of the feud. And thanks to the numbers that he brought in alongside Sean Strickland, they're going to get more money in sponsorships. The next contract that they're going to get with the UFC is going to be significantly bigger because all of the eyes that they brought into the press conference and the fight itself. So yes, all of this trash talk and storyline did in fact make them both richer men.
You know what's actually fascinating about that? I actually believe that the real is all that he said before. I think what's annoying about this is I think the aftermath is actually not the real. And that's what frustrates me. I think Sean Strickland wakes up today and says everything that he said about him again. Probably. You know what I mean? And so it's like, why did you even have to say that? Why did you do that? Why did you diminish everything that you did to get this fight and sell this fight, as you say? For what? He got me. The next time you do it, which he will inevitably do it, and there are going to be some dummies out there who will fall for it, it's not going to work. Okay, so now when he's going to fight Imavov, he's going to say the same things, and then we're going to be like, okay, now this again?
But
God.
Also think about it.
Look, he said a lot of things about a lot of people who, can be intimidating. Do you think... I thought he said, I want to apologize. He apologized. Do you think he got a message?
I don't know, man, but that was...
what other reason is Sean Strickland apologizing for?
To everyone, like all the sects of people that he insulted.
Nothing that he experienced in those 25 minutes should have changed his stance on what he said about him in the lead-up.
I don't think Sean got a message, but I think I know someone who did.
Because everything that he said about him in the lead-up had nothing to do with his fighting abilities. It was about his religion. It was about his family. It was about his associates. It's about his life, and he fled. What are you apologizing for? You just took all that back. And if I'm Khamzat, I don't accept. None of that gets erased because you went 25 minutes with him. There's unwritten rules in the fight game. You don't take the fight to certain places. And if you do, and if you dare to do that, freaking stay there. And I would have so much more respect for it. If I would have done a show on Friday after that press conference, I would have taken back a lot of the things that I said in the build-up because I'd be like, yo, man, face to face in front of an audience, he backed it all up. Yeah. I was impressed. Did I agree? Did I like? Did I this? No, but I was impressed. And I thought he won. And then Friday, same. And then he took it all back.
Yeah.
And apologized. Golly, he apologized. Oh, my gosh. And then he starts talking to us about gratitude and all this stuff. I'm like, man, like, what is this?
Now, Sean Strickland made a joke about APAC, and it's possible that could be the reason why Ariel is so pressed.
The moment you let go of my back, you're, oh my God, what happened to my face? Look like a horror movie.
You were in a 5-round fight. It was a good one.
Christ, I look like I'm part of APAC.
Yeah.
And then Khamzat Chimaev also responded to why he was so friendly with Sean Strickland before and after the fight.
Pojď Hondel. Idoldat så jag trodde jag så gitine jag trodde jag leta Hondat. Det var lätt kichwa leti så det var lätt lucho och daleta. Och bandina alla jag den trodde Hondat. Jag kunde för börja med kort och att han inte råd
That's just so utterly based. I don't like Khamzat as a person or what he stands for, but him wrapping the belt around Sean Strickland after their fight, as a man, you have to respect it. If you don't respect that as a man, I just don't think you are one. So after all of the backlash, Ariel makes a response video, and this has got to be the worst video I've ever seen in my life.
I did want to start the show off with an apology. Was thinking about it, was deliberating in my mind, ruminating, if you will. And I'd like to apologize to Sean Strickland. I went too far yesterday. I went too far. I got caught up, heat of the moment. My emotions get the best of me. Criticized him for the pre-fight banter. Criticized him for the apology about the pre-fight and the post-fight. I just want to apologize from, one American to another. Let me tell you something, you guys. That's what real Americans do. That's what real men do. We apologize when we take it too far, when we cross the... I'm just joking. I'm not going to apologize because I said nothing wrong. I said nothing wrong. When the heat gets a little too hot in the kitchen, you don't back down and apologize. You stand by what you say. And especially when you're talking about someone's character and family and religion, you don't change your stance because you went 25 minutes with them. You don't tell the people that you've just been hoodwinked. You got them hook, line, and sinker, and it was just to sell the fight. That wasn't real. That's not what I'm all about. No, absolutely not. We don't apologize for anything that we've said. I think his comments about me yesterday were ludicrous, as is most of the things that he said. Not his fighting style. Didn't say anything about his fighting style. Didn't say anything about his fighting resume, his accomplishments. But the Leach comment, I've been doing this since 2001. Took me 8 years to get a single penny from covering MMA. There was nothing to leech off of. Like most of the things he says, off base. But this is what you try to do online. You try to get the zombies to believe in what you say, because that's the cool thing to do. And the best part about it all, the greatest irony of what transpired yesterday when we finished the show, here comes actual Mr. Leach himself, Ali Abdelaziz. You talk about Leach, it puts out a bat signal. Here comes Ali Abdelaziz, Mr. Leach himself, Mr. Bloodsucker himself, Mr. Take percentage, take pennies, take money from every single fighter, including 40-something-year-old Frankie Edgar. Put him in a bare-knuckle fight.
The Pont is not calling the kettle black right now.
Just so you can make a commission off of him. There's a greater power, I think, playing here. And I freaking love it. So keep piling it on. Keep trying to jump on the train.
Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point. I agree. I do think there's a higher power here playing the scenes in the back that are making the American fighter and the Muslim fighter hate each other. And that very same force wants them to keep on fighting and stay in the war. I mean, stay in the conflict and the beef they have between each other. But this is important to the conversation. These two guys, an American dude and a Russian dude who has Muslim beliefs, they are looking past everything that they've gone through, all of their prior issues, all of their history. They're moving past it, and after having their war in the cage, they come together and make peace. It's kind of like the King Baldwin and Saladin scene. He's like, I will send you my finest physicians. Sean's good, Khamzat's good, but then of course Ariel comes in like, is there somebody you forgot to ask?